So for today's video, I really wanted to talk about why I dislike Beenox. And if you don't know who Beenox is, they're basically the company who made a few Spider-Man games in the past. Some that you really know, like the Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, just stuff like that. So we're gonna get into it, and it just, I don't know, it really just gets on my nerves a little bit. Now, Beenox is, of course, a well-respected company, but of course, they have a few problems, as if, my opinion. But, they're not gonna just be able to, use the character as Spider-Man and not, have the work ethic or the ability to make it good. I mean, Spider-Man is such a big character, and that's a lot to carry. But they carried somewhat. That's pretty much what this video is going to be about. Now, back in 2012, when the first Amazing Spider-Man game came out, I played it. I wanted it so bad. I got it. And to me, it was so good. The swinging seemed amazing with the camera. The suit seemed all right. I wanted to play, especially because of the movie and how I would fight Lizard and all that stuff. It's all well and good, but growing up now, I do see a lot of the mistakes that are in it. When compared to other games, the swinging here is actually pretty bad. Even in Web of Shadows, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, the swinging was better. We had physics involved. We had, the webs actually stuck to buildings, but here, it's just in the air. It doesn't stick to anything. And also, the character Spider-Man, a lot of the times when he's around like a lot of civilians, for some reason, he actually appears way taller than them. I don't know if anyone has ever noticed that but me. I hope they have. But he actually does appear to be much taller than every civilian he comes across, besides the villains. Like, just go back and look at the game. Look at some gameplay footage or something. I'm serious. He's literally taller than them. And stupid animations were added, like hopping on cars. And no one wants to hop on a car. That's the slowest type of transformation you have in a Spider-Man game. In other games, you just jumped on one and maybe you got hit by one, but that was it. An actual animation for that is pretty useless. But when compared to other games like, Spider-Man Edge of Time or Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, Shattered Dimensions and Edge of Time, it's pretty good. And these are also made by Beenox. But the sad thing about it is that you can tell it's made by Beenox because a lot of the gameplay mechanics are the same. Now, of course, Amazing Spider-Man, it does have a free roam feature, but when the character is up close or is in battle, they have a lot of the same mechanics. And throughout the years of actually making games, a lot of it hasn't really changed. And when we have games like this in such a big franchise, we do expect variety. And variety is key, especially when you're making a series of games under like one main company as a manufacturer. But that's just not something that we actually got in this case. Like I said, I played these games. I played a lot of them. But each time I played them, I failed to realize that they were worse than I actually thought. But Edge of Time and Shattered Dimensions, like I said, they were better than the Amazing Spider-Man. But it also came to my attention that Beenox even took part in making Spider-Man Friend or Foe and Ultimate Spider-Man. And in regards to the universe of Spider-Man games, those are two really great and amazing games, especially Ultimate Spider-Man. The comic book style, the swinging, the missions, everything about it, even Venom, it was just an amazing game. It rivaled Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. I just loved the game. It was amazing. But afterwards, they even did Spider-Man 3, which for some reason tanked. It wasn't as good as the Spider-Man 2. And as of course, they did Spider-Man Edge of Time, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Then they also went on to do the Amazing Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, in these series of games, what is the one thing that you notice about the games that tanked? Just take a second. What do you notice? The games all have free roam. Now of course that's excluding Ultimate Spider-Man. To me, that was a masterpiece in its own. But after that, free roam, I don't know why those games tanked after that, but maybe it was too much for them to handle. After having to add HD modifications to games and new suits and everything, I guess it was too much to handle. I don't know. But Edge of Time and Shattered Dimensions, they were better. They didn't have free roam at all. Yeah, you had swinging around parts in the games, but nowhere did you have free roam. You only had levels to go through. And they were amazing. I even love these games. They had a lot more energy, a lot more rawness. Of course, some of the stuff and their mechanics were kind of the same, but they were really amazing games. I loved these games growing up. And they didn't actually have free roam. These are the games that should have had it. The only time we got close to a free roam was at the beginning of Edge of Time. And we saw Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, in the city swinging. We saw what it would probably be like. Like, just imagine jumping on futuristic flying cars and buildings that are even taller than New York City's current buildings. Just imagine that. I mean, the possibilities were endless. And that's why I also have a problem with Beenox. I mean, they had so much potential to change the game with Spider-Man, but they didn't. And in the end, they kind of ruined the Spider-Man gameplay experience for me, which is why I'm hoping Insomniac will perfect Spider-Man PS4. I don't want another screw up. I don't want it to be so stagnant and stale, which from the trailer and the mini demo, it looked amazing. But you know, all we can do is hope for the best. So like the video, subscribe to my channel. Comment down below how you feel about Beenox and their games. Do you like the company? Do you not like the company? Did you like the games or not? But yeah, I would like to know all your reasonings and everything. I would like to hear it and see it as well. So yeah, see you next video.